Hello everyone, welcome back to your show, The Art Show. Today we're gonna talk about the medieval period. حضرنا أخطاء اللي فاتت على classical antiquity in the first 3 episodes, and now in the 4th one حنهضروا على the early medieval period and the Byzantine Empire. I have a guest today. He's my friend Aslan, owner of Al Jawaz. Say a word.
Hello nerds.
So today our story begins with the fall of the Roman Empire. Bon, قلنا باللي the Roman Empire was established in 30 BC after the Battle of Actium, when Cleopatra and Mark Antony were killed, and then the Roman Empire was established, and then it had a long run, like 400 years, something like that, until the 4th century. And in the 4th century, the Emperor Constantine, the one who propagated Christianity in the Roman Empire, decided to change the capital from Middleanum into Constantinople. Bon, Constantinople مع الأول ما كانش اسمها هكذا، كانت a Greek city اسمها Byzantium. ومن بعد Constantine كرجعها, his capital became Constantinople. And then in the 5th century, an emperor اسمه Theodosius the First, ولا Theodosius the Great. هذا Theodosius the Great was a great Roman emperor, yada yada yada, but after he died there was conflict, and then they decided to split the Roman Empire into 2. The first part, the Western Roman Empire, ولا the capital تاعها Middleanium. The Eastern Roman Empire ولا the capital تاعها Constantinople. The emperor in the West اسمه Honorius. هذا Honorius was incompetent, and there was a lot of squabble, a lot of political squabble, and كانوا عندهم a big problem with the Northern European tribes. Parce que at the time the Huns of Middle Asia بداوا يروحوا لنا westward. كي بداوا يروحوا لنا westward, the Gothic tribes بداوا هما تاني يتبوسوا westward عند the Roman Empire. And basically the Western Roman approach to solve this problem was مدوا لهم land in the west وخلوهم يقعدوا. And thus داروا عليهم eventually, and the Western Roman Empire ended up falling in 476 AD. But لو كان نروحوا to the west نشوفوا how the west were doing, and they were actually doing fine. Because they had a well-established empire. They had Egypt, they كانوا يجيبوا منها الماكلة, so the food source was secured. And then their biggest enemy, the Persians, داروا معهم a peace treaty, كانوا عايشين بالفي. ومن بعد جاء my favorite ruling couple, Justinian and Theodora. هادوما, they're a power couple, they honestly deserve an episode on their own. هذا Justinian ruled the Byzantine Empire from his capital, Constantinople, but قال لك no. قال لك باللي we gotta take back the land of Rome. So he began doing conquests. Bon, he didn't do them himself, he sent his general, Belisarius, who ended up getting the land in North Africa, and he even went as far as Italy. He actually conquered Italy from the Boot to the Alps. And then this Belisarius got a triumph. A triumph is a military reward that was not given from the time of Augustus. And then Justinian was ruling his empire with his wife Theodora. On بعد جاء the Black Plague in the 6th century. Justinian was in a coma, and Theodora was ruling +2. And then there was a revolt called the Nika Revolt. And Justinian was almost killed in those revolts. The Constantinople was actually burnt to the ground from this revolt. But then Justinian and his wife rebuilt it. And in this rebuild, they gave it the splendor that it is. It became the jewel of the ancient world because it was based on classical architecture, but it had a very unique touch to it, and it was an architectural marvel. And Justinian, to consolidate his rule, he built the biggest cathedral at the time, the Hagia Sophia. And now let's talk a little bit about this Byzantine architecture with my friend Aslan. So tell us about it. Tell us about this Byzantine Empire and the civilization.
The Byzantine Empire was such a powerful civilization at that time, a powerful empire, and they tried to manifest their this powerful
the rule.
Exactly. By building. They were the builders. They built with big proportions. And one of the biggest, one of the most famous, and it's Hagia Sophia in Turkey, based in Turkey. Hagia Sophia means the holy wisdom. It's the second, which means literally the holy wisdom. Hagia Sophia from the Greek. The ancient Greek means wisdom. And it was built by Justinian, the Roman emperor, and in 15 as the patriarchal Christian cathedral of Constantinople.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned. It's funny that you called Justinian a Roman emperor, because this gives a whole different view. Because as we say, Rome fell in 476, but actually at the time, لو كان تروح عند a Byzantinian, I think.
Yeah, Byzantinian.
Yeah, لو كان تروح عند the Byzantinian تقول له the Roman Empire fell in 476. Like, but I am Roman.
Yeah.
Because they were Roman. And actually the Byzantine Empire was an extension of Rome, حتى like the mid-15th century.
The Eastern world.
Yeah, the Eastern world, exactly. And actually, the word Byzantine was not invented حتى la Renaissance. Because there's artists à la Renaissance قال لك باللي حنايا we are the revival of classical culture. ومن بعد جاو لهم Byzantinians قالوا لهم باللي but we are classical, we are Romans. ما قال لهم لا انتم ماشي رومانز، هم دونهم Byzantine Empire قال لهم قعدوا وين راكم.
And he did that. He built it in 537 until 1204 to 1261, and until it falls to the Ottomans in the 1453, when it becomes a mosque, and in 1953, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's 1935. On today, it's in the 30s. It's in the early 30s.
35, yeah.
Yeah, it's 1935.
The Turkish Republic turned it into a museum. When recently it turned back this year, 2020, it turned back into a mosque again.
Yeah. Masjid Hagia Sophia Sharif, quelque chose comme ça.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, the cat that Hagia Sophia recently died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad. That was sad.
They did him a funeral.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, deservedly so. He's incredibly cute.
He was famous. He was the famous.
He's super cute.
In architecture, it is known as the most accomplished structure, the most accomplished building ever made.
Okay.
Yes, it's a piece of art and a piece of work that took many years to be completed.
Certainly.
And in the history of architecture and of art, it is one of the symbols of Christianity.
Okay.
Has been described as a unique place in Christianity, and Islamic features were added, such as 4 minarets.
Okay.
And mihrab, a pulpit, and a qibla, like the direction when the prayer. Exactly.
What does a pulpit mean?
Mihrab.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, the direction of the qibla they talked about it. In Christianity, churches are directed eastward, بصح جهة Jerusalem.
Yes.
والقبلة في الإسلام is Mecca.
It's
so actually جاية ميلة شوية على الكوتي.
It's just near it.
Yeah, جاية شوية ميلة على الكوتي.
The way it was built, it's such art that it seems that the dome is floating. Why is that? Because it was built under a square base when each corner supports the dome. So it means that when you enter Hagia Sophia, the big hole, you will see the vaults. The vaults are actually the corners of the big square structure. And the dome is under it. It is the greatest. It has the greatest vaulted space without any support system. Also, a dome on a square base. Under it, there is like an unbroken chain of arced windows, that provide the interior to be flooded with light, because the interior is such a colorful place, colorful.
Certainly, with the mosaics and the gold and the
especially golds.
Yeah, certainly. Well, actually, that you talked about the dome. Actually, the dome نشوفوها من تحتها باللي it has the windows اللي حضرت عليهم, and this gives us like a halo effect للدوم تاعنا. تولي تبان الدوم is floating in the middle of the space, And actually, when it's described, it was later on described as if the dome معلقة with a chain directly from heaven.
Yeah.
And talking as well about the dome, this dome كي قلنا it's free, it's an empty space الداخل.
Yes.
Actually the dome لو كنشوفوا the interior structure تاعنا نشوفوا بلي you can fit a whole square in there.
Because mathematically it was they used the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
The famous circle.
Oh yeah, okay.
So every proportion makes it a square. A full sphere.
Yeah.
It's just a half sphere. The dome is a perfect half sphere.
Okay. Well, actually, from Byzantine architecture, actually, نزيدو نشوفو an autre exemple, that is the Kora Church, and the Kora Church is in the heights of Istanbul, and we see in the Kora Church the best preserved Byzantine mosaics are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that place is mesmerizing.
Indeed.
Yeah, you go into Abek, the Kora Church idea is so amazing that like تدخلها and you're like dazzled with all the gold and the shine.
It is also because it's a big structure, you know, creating with big dimensions makes you just wanna be, you know, quiet. So for example, when we talk about the Byzantine Empire, when other people from other countries come to Constantinople, they will see that and they will see how big it is, how amazing it is. So it will represent the powerful statement that this empire had.
Certainly. And actually, from this type of architecture, from Byzantine architecture, we transition into another type of European architecture. It's called Romanesque, where they try to emulate and to imitate the Roman architecture, but the problem is ما تنساوش رانا in the Middle Ages هنايا. They lost the knowledge تاع the Romans. So ما يقدروش يعودوا يبنيو كيما هما.
Exactly.
The Byzantines قالوا لهم انتوما ماشي Romans. So Romanesque is like تشبه شوية على Roman. Well, from Romanesque, actually, we transition into Gothic, and the next episode is going to be about Gothic. It's going to be with my friend Aslan as well. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a good one.